People who fail the PMP exam always say the same thing. In this podcast, I teach you what those phrases are so that you can recognize them in ourselves, eliminate them, and actually pass the exam. Let's do this. All right, here it is, PMP Success Secrets with Scott. I'm going to go through the common phrases that I hear people that are on the path to failure saying so that you can identify them and eliminate them and understand how to get to the root that's causing you to say these things. All right, so this is going to be a multi-part series because I hear a lot of things, I recognize a lot of patterns, and I see the people that fail that aren't in our system, and I see the things that they talk about, and I see the people who come in with these patterns and how we break them down, change them, get them better. All right, so this is a big one. This is going to save you a ton of pain, heartache, all those things, and get you to the promised land. So the number one thing that I see people say is, this is a PMI answer. Oh, this is a PMI answer. This is what they want me to say. It's a trick. This is what they want me to say. This is not reality. Now, have you ever said that? Like, just got to be honest. Have you said, or do you believe, oh, this is a PMI answer? This is not a reality answer. Now, if you have, you are on the path to failure. Welcome to your path. All right. Now, what is driving that question or that statement? It's your belief that somehow your life is divorced from the PMBOK content. Now, it's an honest mistake to make because you look at your real life and you go, I don't do charters. I don't have a strong sponsorship. I don't have good communication with my people. I do things differently. We use different forms. We do different things. We don't have sign-offs. We don't have all this stuff. And you look at your real life and you say, I've been successful over there. And then you look at the PMBOK and you say, well, they want me to be highly organized. They want me to be disciplined. They want me to follow through these things. They never say to do it, by the way. They just lay out a structure for you to do it. They never say, thou shalt. Just want to let the record show. You look at both and you say, oh, well, that must be foolish because I can't do that in my life. Now, let me ask you a quick question. Just because you're successful over here doesn't mean that you couldn't be more successful if you adopted some of the principles, right?
Right.
Does that seem reasonable? And as you think about it, like, does, the way your company does it, is that the same way that every company does it? Because like if you work for name giant corporation, General Motors, big fan, love them. Like the way that General Motors does it, is it the way that Tesla does it? Is it the way that Apple does it? Is it the way that a hardware store company does it? No, everybody does it differently. So your argument that the reality is not based on PMI is wrong. It's wrong. Let's just be honest. You have a false assumption. Okay, you have a false premise. Now, when we come back to that and say, well, why am I fighting City Hall? Well, it might be that you're scared that when you look at your practices, you go, my saw might not be as sharp as I think it is. And there ain't no big deal. Nobody's a perfect project manager, myself included, okay? So if we go out there and say, hey, I do some things awesome, I do some things not so awesome. I can't follow the exact processes due to the nature that I exist in. Awesome. You are adjusting to fit your environment. I'm sure you could tweak it and be the change you want to become over there. But what it does not do is it does not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Obviously, that when you go back at the PMBOK and you look at it for what the purpose is, it's a generalized base body of knowledge of best practices across there. Now, when you look at that, you say, ooh, I'm going to operate with that lens. What is the optimal decision that you be put into? Or what's the optimal response to a situation when you're put into it? Well, we want to lean toward that way. So those people who say, oh, this is a PMI answer, they are cheating themselves because they are not allowing themselves to go through a thought experiment to really challenge their assumptions about how they react to situations, not based on the environment that they're put in now, but by the environment that they should be put in or they could be put in. Because if you go to another company and they don't have the same situations and you operate like you did in the previous company with the artificial constraints that are put on you, you will do suboptimally. You have to adapt to the environment that you're in, and you have to push it in the right ways and finesse it, like Lee Lambert says, to be the most productive person. So take that lens and reframe how you see in the questions. So instead of saying, oh, this is just a PMI answer, I can't get it right, it's trying to trick me, cut that off tonight. What you've got to say instead is that, let me see what the real problem is. Let me see what the environment is. And let me see what the optimal response would be. That seem like good problem solving in general? Yeah. So if you find yourself taking that little crutch, that out, oh, it's not this, catch yourself. Ask yourself what's optimal. Ask yourself what the appropriate approach is. Ask yourself what the best way to do it would be in a compromised, weird situation. That's the way we get there. That's the way we really learn. That's the way we challenge ourselves. And that transfer over into that thinking, when you get to the other side and you start thinking about what's best, and you don't take it as an insult to like some of the compromises you make now, that's how you get to be like a superstar in thought and solving problems. And you actually get better in your regular job because you start to challenge things in the right way. So don't take the out. Don't make that mistake. So that's number one. I went a little long, so I'm capping it at that. I want you to go right now and say, do I ever take that out? If you do, stop it and go back and learn. And if you want to have someone challenge you and really build you through and go through those things, you know where I am. Scott at PMMasterPrep.com, 757-759-5282. Everybody knows my phone number. Come and reach out or apply to the accelerator. We'll put you through the ringer in a great way, give you the support, and we'll get you through. So do not say, it's okay if you say it. It's not okay if you act on it. So change that thought pattern. It'll get better. Let's keep rolling.